I've pre-selected some additional PIDs that are real important that you want to look at in the case of a no start. Crank's okay, but will not fire up. The barometric pressure sensor on the 6.4 and the 6.7 Power Stroke engine family is internal to the PCM. On the 6.0 Power Stroke, it is under the dash near the DCL connector. So you can see at the very top of the page of the IDS, I have baro frequency output. It has a 5 volt supply, a ground, and a frequency output. We can see that the frequency is roughly close to 159 hertz, and that equals a barometric pressure of 14.73 psi. If we go down the page, we can see that EBP, exhaust back pressure A, is 14.79 psi. That's really close. That's within 1/10 of a psi, the barometric pressure sensor versus the exhaust back pressure sensor. Looking farther down, we can see the manifold absolute pressure, the MAP, is at 14.71. So we have a MAP sensor at 14.71. We have an EBP, exhaust back pressure, at 14.79 and a barometric pressure of 14.73. They should all be within 1/10 of a psi, key on, engine off. Now, any one of these sensors could fail and be out of range far enough that would throw off the engine from starting. The one sensor that can do the most damage and is the most troublesome of the 3 sensors is the exhaust back pressure sensor. It lives in a tough environment, sampling the exhaust back pressure. This sensor will short and pull the reference voltage down. You may be in a situation in which your scan tool will not communicate, the vehicle cranks but will not run. It's easy to diagnose. Go to the exhaust back pressure sensor and unplug it. If it's shorted and it's pulling the reference voltage down, once you unplug it, the short will be gone to ground. Your scan tool should communicate and you can go on in your diagnosis. This also happens on gas engines, but it typically happens, a lot of technicians that work more on gas engines and diesel engines will be real familiar with this happening on the differential pressure feedback EGR sensor. Again, that sampling hose is tied to a tough environment, exhaust flow, just like the exhaust back pressure. But any one of these sensors could fail. Typically, the baro sensor causes more of a surge going down the road than the EBP sensor will cause a no start, no communication, and the MAP sensor could cause surge, rough idle, lots of problems. Any of these that I've ever seen fail, this test that I'm doing right now pinpoints it. All 3 of them would be very unlikely that they would all fail at the same time unless the exhaust back pressure sensor was shorting the reference voltage. So they all within 1/10 of a volt is a really good test to make sure those sensors are working properly, and it's just taking the time to look at that PID, key on, engine off.